As most of you know, I work a full-time job, and Mark is hardly home because of his job. I have Luke and Grace, and on top of that, I'm enrolled as a full-time student, and I've made some lifestyle changes that include a lot of exercising, so I spend a good bit of my time doing that. I often hear, "I don't know how you do it," or "kudos to you," "tip my hat to you," and a lot of people ask me how I do it, and I usually start my answer with, "I cry a lot," which is entirely true. But I wouldn't get through any of this without God and coffee at 10:30 at night. As moms, we always worry about everyone else. The kids and our husbands are our main priority. We always want to make sure that they're fed, bathed, clothed, happy, and we have to enforce discipline when it's needed, even though it makes us the bad guy. And we sacrifice so much for this. We find ourselves sacrificing me time. We sacrifice the new dress, the manicure, the hair color. Or maybe you're like me and you bought a book 6 months ago and still have yet to make it through the first chapter. Or maybe you're sacrificing something you need, like a new pair of tennis shoes to replace the ones with holes that you've been wearing for the last 5 years. Or even a shower on your 4th day of dry shampoo, which I do a lot more than I should admit. I read a thing on Facebook earlier that said, what men don't understand is that nobody cooks for her. Nobody cleans for her. Nobody does her laundry. Nobody makes sure that she is okay. A woman is always instantly looked at as someone who needs to take care of everyone else. Just to be clear, Mark definitely helps with the cleaning and laundry and little things when he can. But the idea of this is so true. We give all that we have to our families. We strive to make sure the children have the best of the best and that they're happy and yet still disciplined and well taught. Because we give so much of ourselves to others and their needs, we become tired, and we're tired all the time. If not physically, then mentally and emotionally, we're drained. Our brains just don't want to work anymore. We want to, and maybe sometimes we do, just lock ourselves in the bathroom and cry because of the heaviness from all of our overwhelming responsibilities. Maybe you find yourself sitting at the edge of your sleeping child's bed at night for apologizing for losing your patience and promising to try to be a better mother tomorrow. We've all done it. We've all snapped at the silliest thing that doesn't even matter. And maybe when you find yourself in this situation, you feel like a failure. We're always worrying about things that are out of our control. That's our job as mothers, or at least that's what we tell ourselves. The hard truth is that we all feel like failures as moms from time to time, but we're not. It's amazing. We're not failures. We put ourselves last, preceded by the kids, our husbands, our family, and friends, and this leads us to often forget about God. And if we haven't forgotten about Him, we put Him a lot lower on the priority list than we should have. And we're all guilty of it. Every single one of us is guilty of it. We need to learn to put God first before our husbands and before our kids, because when we do that, He's going to take care of us. He's going to take care of everything. Psalm 23:3 says, He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Our strength is a lot like a muscle. It can only hold or flex for so long before it tears or the elasticity gives out, leaving us weak and in need of rest. We need to rest ourselves like a muscle. By putting God first, serving God first, He allows us to rest, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and that rebuilds our strength and keeps us going. He will provide us with the wisdom to know when to rest and how to keep our families thriving. He will take care of us in ways we cannot even begin to fathom, in ways we crave to be cared for, if you only let Him. I'm going to end with a scripture that I find soul-lightening from the eyes of a mother. Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap, if we do not give up. Let that sink in. Keep up the hard work and trust in God. One day you're going to look back on all you've accomplished to mold your children into wonderful adults. And you're going to see how well your children have grown, and you're going to be proud. You're going to be proud to see how well you've held it together with God as your strength. And your husband's going to look at you, and he's going to feel that pride too. So lean on God to let you rest, and lean on God to care for you, because it's all going to be worth it.